I ate so much food, I kind of feel out of breath. Hey Spuds, what's up? It's Jamie and welcome back to another video, and today's video is all about the weird little things you never realise about being trans. Whether you're trans yourself and you realise it along the way of transitioning, or if you are not trans and you have no idea that trans people experience this, or that some trans people go through certain things. So what I asked you guys to do on Instagram is send me those things that you never realised and never knew about being trans, whether you're trans or not. And you guys really came through. There's too many to go through. There's a lot. I'm gonna try and get through as many as possible. Quite a few of them are repeats. Like a really big running theme seems to be like testosterone sweat and self-acceptance, and that's very cute. But before I spoil all of them, I'm basically just gonna read them out. And not all of these are gonna be relevant to everybody watching or every trans person, but they're kind of like common things, but that just don't seem to be common knowledge. So the first one is somebody didn't realize that you could get an Adam's apple from taking testosterone. This seems to be a really frequent thing. I did a whole video about the fact that testosterone can give you a visible Adam's apple, and it's even because some doctors tell trans people that testosterone will categorically not make that Adam's apple more visible, but it really can. Everybody has an Adam's apple and testosterone can make it more prominent. Right there. I didn't know about bum fluff. Okay, I read this and my gut reaction is literal hair on your ass crack, because I didn't know about that or the extent to that, and I have a forest in there now and it's not pretty. That's too much information already. But yes, bum fluff of any kind. I know bum fluff is a term used for really crappy facial hair, but in terms of your butt, a lot of people will get a very, very, very hairy bum on testosterone. Not everybody, you might be one of the fortunate ones. I didn't know you could be gay and transgender. If I knew, I would have transitioned sooner. This is a really common one, particularly among people who aren't trans. I'm not saying it's bad if you feel like this way if you are trans yourself, but it's really common for people outside the trans community to think that all trans people are straight. So all trans guys are only attracted to women, and that trans people can't be gay, because if you're a gay trans person, why would you transition? Why not just say the gender you're assigned at birth, and be a straight person, because that's the epitome of everything. Trans people can be any sexual orientation that a cis person can be. It took a while to truly realise people can still love me romantically until someone did. This is definitely something I felt, and it's definitely something my mom was worried about for me. I think not that she felt that trans people were unlovable, but she just worried that I wouldn't find a partner. People do have prejudices, people do have preferences over genitals and things like that, but you as a trans person are lovable, and there are loads of amazing people out there who are with trans people who will not discriminate against a trans partner, and you will find somebody. I didn't know about bottom growth. Yeah, this is for trans people taking testosterone. The stuff down there will grow. I think that's all I need to say. I have made a video about it. Other trans guys like Noah have made a video about it. So if you want to learn more, then go check those out. But yeah, stuff grows. Your genitals will change a bit when you take testosterone. Somebody else did the same thing, but they just said the T-dick. Yes, the T-dick. That I could be happy. I think me and many other trans people feel like we can't ever feel truly happy. And for whatever reason this is, if this is because you feel like as a trans person you're not allowed to feel happy or feel comfortable with yourself, or if you just feel like it's impossible to be happy as a trans person because of what you go through, it is very possible. Obviously there's loads of stuff at play, everybody is different, and if you do feel happy, you're allowed to feel that way. That you don't need to feel dysphoric 24/7. You can have days where it's nothing/everything. And another extension of this is that you don't have to hate your body, and you don't have to hate yourself. You don't need to feel dysphoria over everything all the time. How freeing it is to actually accept yourself for who you are. I think this is a huge step, and I'm not saying that everybody has to do it, and it's not something that everybody will be able to do, but honestly the moment when being trans felt easier, still not easy, but when I felt like it got easier for me to deal with is when I accepted myself, and I felt like it was okay to accept it about myself and not let it hold me back or hate myself because I'm trans. You grow a little dick. Sorry. I just like the way people respond about testosterone growth. We can get boners, lol. Being stealth around cis men is so hard because they talk about their balls so much. I agree. It's really difficult whenever I'm in a social situation with a bunch of cis guys. I don't necessarily find it difficult because like I just laugh along, and it's been a lot easier since I had lower surgery because I can relate to some of what they're saying. But it's true, a lot of the cis guys I've hung out with certainly talk about their dicks a lot and their balls a lot, and it's like, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. You have to take hormones forever. Yeah, this is a really interesting one, and I've been asked this question so much throughout my transition, where people are like, trans and cis, they're like, I didn't know that trans people have to stay on hormones to maintain their hormone levels. I mean, obviously, it's up to you. You can come off it, although if you have had a hysterectomy or you've had your testicles removed, if you're a trans woman, then you need to have some kind of sex hormone, whether that's estrogen or testosterone in your system. But if you haven't had that done and you're a trans guy, you can just come off testosterone. If you're a trans woman, you can just come off estrogen. You will notice the reversal of some changes and some things changing back. So for example, the main one for trans guys is you would likely start having your monthly cycle again, and fat may redistribute into its original place before you start to testosterone. But things like voice break and body hair are permanent. But if you want to like maintain changes and maintain your hormone levels, then yeah, you have to stay on it forever. How good it feels after having top surgery. This is like a major one because like when it's all hypothetical and you're like, I can imagine how amazing it's gonna feel after I've had top surgery, and I've heard so many other people talking about how amazing it feels, it doesn't quite like click into place until you've had it and you experience that feeling. It's like, oh my god. How long the transitioning process would be. There seems to be a lot of slightly differently worded and differently themed assumptions that people had that being trans was a quick process and that transitioning was a quick process, and it isn't. Some people's transitions are quicker than others, and some people's are really slow for personal circumstances and whatever reason. But transitioning is not an overnight thing. It takes time to go through the process to get approved for hormones and surgery, and it takes time for hormones to have their full effect. But yeah, transitioning is not an overnight process. It takes time. Every different aspect of it takes time. Approvals, changes, recovery, everything. Is the main way I've learned how to be patient being trans. That's the biggest thing it's taught me, I think. That and self-love. You don't have to transition fully to be a real trans person. Yeah, and this relates to another one I saw, which is that not all trans people get every option done. You can have whatever combination that is right for you. If you just want hormones, just have hormones. If you just want top surgery, just have top surgery. If you just want to socially transition, that's completely up to you. What is right for you might not be right for somebody else, and not everybody's gonna agree with what you do, but you need to do what's best for you at the end of the day. So yes, you absolutely do not have to like fully transition and do hormones top and bottom surgery to be a real trans person. T-gel feels like lube. It's more like hand sanitizer. I see where you're coming from, but it's not quite lubey, in my opinion. It's hand sanitizer more like, and it's alcohol based, so definitely do not use it as lube. And even out of like sexual situations, do not put it on your genitals, because that is very bad. If you pass and you say you're trans, people will assume you're transitioning the other way. Yes. Oh my god, yes. It's happened several occasions where I will tell people I'm trans and they will assume I am a trans woman who is pre-transition. And then when they find out I'm a trans man, it's like, that I was trans, lol. Yes, I think that is something that many trans people don't realise at first about being trans, is that they are a trans person. I don't want to be grammatically incorrect. I was going to as a joke, but it felt too uncomfortable. Testosterone causing the 3 H's. Hot, hungry, and horny. Yes, you will feel warmer when you take testosterone. I don't know what it is. I always used to run freezing, and now I just run a little bit cold to lukewarm. But I sweat significantly more. Like, sweat just comes out of me in very strange and new places. Hunger, yes, testosterone will increase your appetite for a lot of people, not everybody. And horny, testosterone, yes, will make you horny, most likely. For a lot of people. And on that note, which is wonderful, I'm gonna finish this video, but I definitely think there's scope for a part 2. Let me know if you enjoyed this. I think it's really cool to hear about all the weird little things that people didn't realise, and I can relate to so many. And I think it just highlights how focused we are on like the big things about being trans and transitioning, and all these little things get forgotten, but they're so important and they can come as a big shock. And what is so important is things like knowing that you don't have to hate yourself, all the changes testosterone can cause, and the fact that you don't have to do everything that other trans people that you've seen do. you don't have to also do. That did not make sense. You can do whatever combination of transition-y things that's right for you. There's loads of other really important things, but let's save that for another video. If you like this one, then please let me know and leave your comments down below of things that you never realized that were true about trans people or about transitioning and all of that stuff. And again, you don't have to be trans to comment. Think about giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing. My social media links are down below if you want to go follow me on any of those, but like, no pressure to do any of it. It's just if you want to. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.